Broncos country, brace yourselves because the bombshell I'm about to drop could completely change the course of our 2025 season. While you were out there enjoying your weekend, something went down in the NFL market that left everyone stunned, including the Saints players themselves. And guess who's in pole position to benefit from all this craziness? That's right, our orange and blue family. The Denver Broncos appear as absolute favorites to land one of the best special team specialists in the entire league. But hold on, I'm not giving everything away right off the bat. First, let me tell you how this whole situation started and why this could be the game changer we needed. Seriously, folks, when I first saw this news, I had to read it 3 times to believe it. What happened in New Orleans was so shocking that even Walton-Penner, a teammate for years, dropped F-bombs on social media because he was so incredulous. And look, in football we've seen everything, right? So stick with me until the end because I'm going to explain exactly who this guy is, why the Saints made this crazy decision, and most importantly, how he can revolutionize our special teams here in Denver. Spoiler alert, we're talking about a player who led the entire NFL in special teams tackles last season. Here's the situation. The New Orleans Saints released safety J.T. Gray, one of the franchise's special teams pillars, for 7 complete seasons. And when I say pillar Broncos country, I mean pillar. This guy was All-Pro 3 times in his career, twice on the first team and once on the second team. For those who don't know much about football, being All-Pro means being the best in the league at your position. It's the ultimate recognition a player can receive from the experts. J.T. Gray wasn't just any random player on the Saints. He was team captain, special teams leader, and was coming off an absolutely spectacular 2024 season. The guy led the entire NFL with 26 special teams tackles. 26? For you to get an idea, that's more than 1 tackle per game, which is simply absurd for a specialist. And it doesn't stop there. Gray also led the league in solo tackles on coverage, with 16. That means when the ball was in the air, whether on a punt or kickoff, he was the one getting to the opposing returner first. That's pure gold in a sport where field position can decide games. Remember how many times we suffered from long returns against us? Well, a guy of this caliber could solve those problems once and for all. But the big question everyone is asking is, why the hell did the Saints cut a player of this level? The decision caught everyone by surprise, even within New Orleans' own locker room. Walton-Penner, who shared the locker room with Gray for years, posted on social media a completely shocked reaction when he heard the news. There are some theories floating around NFL corridors. First, Gray was in the last year of his contract and would receive a base salary of $2.6 million this season. For the Saints, who always have salary cap problems, it might have weighed on the decision. Second, the player had some tendon issues during the offseason, but nothing that seemed serious enough to justify a cut of this level. Saints head coach Dennis Allen himself admitted it was one of the toughest decisions he had to make this season. Man, when a coach says that publicly, it's because it really hurt to let the player go. But in professional football, sometimes tough decisions need to be made for financial reasons or long-term strategy. And here's where it gets interesting for us, Broncos country. Sean Payton knows J.T. Gray very well. Remember that Payton was the Saints head coach for 15 seasons, and it was exactly under his command that Gray exploded as one of the league's best specialists. The connection between the two is real and strong. Gray came to the Saints in 2018 as an undrafted free agent, meaning a guy who wasn't even picked in the draft. Payton saw something special in him and gave him the opportunity. The result? 7 consecutive seasons as one of the NFL's best special teamers. Payton knows exactly how to use this player's talent and how to get the most out of him. Now imagine this scenario. J.T. Gray wearing the orange and blue jersey leading our special teams, bringing all that experience and leadership to Mile High City. The impact would be immediate and transformative. Let quote S talk about concrete numbers that show why this guy could make a huge difference for us. Last season, Gray had 26 special teams tackles. For comparison, our leader in special teams tackles in 2024 had way less than that. We're talking about a considerable upgrade in production. But it's not just about numbers. Gray brings something you can't measure in statistics: leadership and experience in crucial games. The guy played playoffs multiple times, faced pressure in national games, and always stood out in the most important moments. This kind of experienced veteran is exactly what our young family needs. And there's another crucial point: versatility. Gray isn't just a tackler. He has 2 punt blocks in his career, fumble recovery, and can play in practically all special team situations. Coverage, return, punt block, kickoff. The guy does everything with excellence. It's like having a Swiss Army knife on special teams. If you paid attention to our preseason, you must have noticed we still have some holes in special teams that need to be filled. Gray could solve several of these problems in one fell swoop. And considering he's free on the market now, it would be a unique opportunity to strengthen an area that historically decides many games in the NFL. The coolest part of all this is that Gray still isn't a player at the end of his career. At 29 years old, he's at the perfect age for a special teams specialist. He has enough experience to lead, but still has the physicality and speed to be productive for several more seasons. Broncos country. You know, I always tell the truth here. And the truth is that additions like this don't become available on the market all the time. A 3-time All-Pro league leader in tackles, team captain, who still knows our coach's system. This is a golden opportunity. Of course, it's not official yet that we're going after him. The front office will evaluate all options, see how he fits in our salary cap, and analyze if it makes strategic sense. But all conditions are aligned for this to be a real and concrete possibility. And here comes that question I always ask you: where do you think our biggest weakness is right now? For me, special teams is an area where we can still grow a lot. And having a specialist at JT Gray's level would be an upgrade that would be felt immediately on the field. Imagine the scenarios: Gray leading punt coverage, getting to the opposing returner first, forcing fair catches, gaining field position for our offense. Or in punt block situations, using all that experience to pressure the opposing punter and maybe even get another block. And there's something else you need to consider. In modern football, victory margins are getting smaller and smaller. Games are decided by a field goal, by field position, by coverage done well or poorly. Having the league's best specialist in these situations could literally be the difference between making playoffs or staying home in January. If I were to bet, I'd say there are several franchises interested in JT Gray at this exact moment. Teams that know his value and have roster space for an elite specialist. The competition will be strong, but we have important advantages. The relationship with Sean Payton, a solid organizational culture, and a young, ascending team that can attract veterans who want to compete for titles. The timing is also perfect. We're at the very beginning of the season, so Gray would have enough time to integrate with the group, learn our specific calls, and be ready to contribute from the first official game. It's not like hiring someone mid-season, when the team is already in sync and changes can generate instability. Now, I want you to do a mental exercise with me. Close your eyes and imagine JT Gray making that perfect tackle that prevents a long return against us. Imagine him forcing a fumble on a crucial fourth-quarter coverage. Imagine our special teams unit working like a well-oiled machine, controlling field position, and giving constant advantage to our offense and defense. That S, what a player of this level can bring. And when you have Sean Payton, who knows every detail of his game, the possibilities multiply even more. Payton knows exactly how to maximize Gray's talents and how to put him in the best situations to succeed. Another important thing: Gray isn't just an excellent individual producer. He's a natural leader who elevates the level of everyone around him. On the Saints, He was the guy rookies would seek out to learn from, the veteran who kept everyone focused and disciplined. This kind of presence in the locker room is worth much more than any statistic. And let's be realistic about one thing. Our window of contention is open now. We have a young quarterback developing, a defense with talented pieces, and a coach who knows how to win in the NFL. Smart additions like J.T. Gray could be exactly what we need to transform a good season into a special season. Of course, there are other options on the market and other available players, but when you analyze the combination of talent, experience, leadership, and cultural fit, Gray stands out as a unique opportunity. It's the kind of move that, in a few months, everyone might be talking about as a turning point of our season. Broncos country. I know you're anxious to see what's going to happen. Next week will be crucial to define whether we're really going after him or if other priorities will speak louder. But one thing I guarantee, if we manage to bring J.T. Gray to Denver, we'll be giving a significant upgrade to an area that can make all the difference in tight games. That quote "s" it for now, Denver Broncos family. Let's keep an eye on the next developments and hope our management makes the right decision. Gray is exactly the kind of experienced and productive veteran who can elevate our team to the next level. If you're true Broncos country, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any play of our season. Because from now on, every move could be decisive for our 2025 campaign. So, Denver Broncos family. Do you think we should go after J.T. Gray? Is it worth investing in a specialist of this level? Comment below with your opinion. Hit like if you want to see more content about possible signings. Share with friends who are also Broncos country, and see you in the next video. Go Broncos!